Meghan Markle here.
Okay, what is that? So where is the bullying investigation? All right, 24. Any date on this screenshot? No. Exclusive. I don't give a toss what Prince Andrew feels. He is a horrible, nasty man. Duke's ex-maid said she has no regrets about speaking out over his demanding and entitled foul-mouth rant. I read somewhere recently that they didn't release the bullying report on Meghan because Andrew asked them not to. He was concerned about what was said about him. This is not the first time I brought this up. I said they need to make it public. Why? Because once Harry and Meghan are no longer on this earth, everybody's gonna die eventually, okay? But these people, they love to change the narrative. There's a narrative they try to paint Meghan as, but they can't because of the Sussex squad. Okay? So they kept it private in a way, let's say allegedly, if this is true. So in the future, they could say anything they want and Harry and Meghan will not be there to defend it. Okay? They claim they only look at the process, not the allegation, which were made by William's aide. At any rate, if they found anything to use against Meghan, they will have. That too, but these people, they don't let anything go. White people can't bully according to the unroyal morons, yet the biggest bullies in that sick family are bully boy William, Andrew, and the rest of them. What a sick country I live in, a country that supports this and attempt to vilify the woman who has been proved to not be a bully, Duchess of Sussex. They are still busy looking for evidence of bullying by Meghan. You see, this is what I'm saying. Anything that they find to change the narrative. Yes. Yes. It's been 5 years. Please stay safe and pay attention to your surroundings. Brave lady, inspiring, and we are to assume Virginia's death had nothing to do with Andy. Sorry, I don't believe it. I will never believe it. She goes to all that and then kills herself. After all that, it's BS. Just like, was it Diana's, okay? Don't you know he's a blood royal born in the firm, not some American actress who got lucky. Well, not Meghan who got lucky. It's her quality, okay? Well, Harry got lucky. Harry got lucky to actually see her and then pursue her. Alright, the security on gates also spoken about Andrew's behavior and foul language, lodging many complaints, but nothing ever done. Okay, it's her own fault if she fails to 100% correctly arrange the 50 teddies on his bed according to the laminated template. Can't get the staff these days. Alright, the rolling eye. Next tweet. Oh my god, I didn't know I have that much. Okay, so there's a TikTok video here. Phew, Meghan was never a threat. She was the decoy. All right, 1 minute and 31 seconds.
While the world was obsessed with Prince Harry and Meghan, the royal family was quietly protecting someone else, Prince Andrew. The real royal scandal wasn't Meghan's Americanness or 5 a.m. emails or alleged bullying. It was Prince Andrew and his shenanigans the whole time.
I mean, the squad knew, okay? The squad knew about that. We knew what was... I report on it. Go some of my old videos. But I actually read court documents because I wanted to know what's going on. Okay, some of these videos are still there. Okay, I read court documents, things that was happening in New York and the police thing and all that. I knew. Okay, you could go back, let's say 20, 21, 22, up to recently. All right. Let's continue.
This week, Virginia Giuffre's memoir was published posthumously, and in it lays out exactly what she endured at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein's network, including Prince Andrew. For years, the British royal family deflected, they denied. The Queen was famous for putting her head in the sand over issues with the family. Meanwhile, the UK tabloids obsessed over every single thing Meghan did. And here we have Prince Andrew in an alleged sex scandal with underage girls. Yes, girls, not women. It's not a coincidence. Both the press and the palace use Meghan and Harry as cultural cover-up.
At some point, the UK is a South African man who was advocating to reduce the age of consent in the UK. I think age of consent in the UK is 16, and I think he wanted for it to go lower. I even talk about it in one of my videos. But they even go after Meghan for closing a freaking car door.
They fed stories to the media to cover up Prince Andrew's nonsense. They weaponized race, hierarchy, tradition, all of these things. And honestly, it worked for a little while, but not anymore when Virginia's words are laid out in print. The truth is, the monarchy has always protected power before people. And Meghan was not a threat. She was the decoy. But finally, those chickens have come home to roost. Because when the crown protects predators but punishes truth tellers, that's not tradition. That's rot. And it stinks. I'm Michaela Ian, and that's the Cultured Take.
It's very sad. And we need to pray for... Well, she's dead now, but may she rest in peace because she did her part. Maybe this is... Wow, she suffered a lot. I didn't even read the book, but from what I'm reading, what I've read, she suffered a lot. She suffered a lot. And I guess this is why she was what God sent her to this earth to reveal the nonsense over there. Meghan was used to cover a multitude of royal scandals, which include William cheating, William and Kate's poor work ethic, and other things yet to be revealed. It's beginning to unravel now. Okay, yep. That's a GIF, by the way. They threw Meghan to the wolves for sport. She was the decoy for everyone's shit. She was the go-to decoy when they needed a cover-up story for William, Andrew, Charles, Kate, and Camilla. For everyone, 100%. They all knew, the royal family, the British press, everyone. Yeah, they knew. Royal family assiduously tell themselves they are superior to all other human beings on God's earth. That is, they are racist. Like all deliberately stupid human beings, a few will escape by choosing to learn and grow into a fuller, more authentic human being. That is Harry. Yeah, I mean, the thing is with the royal family, the thing I don't understand is that men and Grace, well, they pretty much have the entire system to cover up for them. And once they get away from one problem, you would thought they will change. They will not do the same thing again, but they go and do the same thing again. I don't understand them. Like everyone says, Harry is the only one with a soul. I'm so glad they escaped. And this is why sometimes I said, I really wish William kids is blessed with whatever Harry was able to get. Because they are still children and they're gonna be part of our society, and when they grow up to contribute, who knows what they're gonna contribute to my kids, great-grandkids society generation. I mean, they protect William, Charles, Camilla, and every single royal nastiness and cruelty. They all have scandals. They all need to be exposed and held accountable. They also unalive Diana. That should be investigated again, especially Charles' involvement. I can't wait to see justice. The question the media should be asking is, why has this man been so protected by the current king and heir? Because he is related to them. I mean, it's not because he's relevant or he was his late mother's favorite son. I think it's because he knows all the skeletons that the king heir currently has in the closet. Not just Prince Andrew. The assault was unleashed right when the story broke about William's affair. The Rota admitted they had to remove all William's stories, but could do anything they want to Meghan. But contrast how the Daily crucify Meghan and how they protect Andrew. Alright, let's move on. Next tweet. It's another video. Alright, let's pause this. Oh my god, almost 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The invisible contract is under pressure, with the Royal Rota upset that Will is giving interviews to overseas media instead of them. Emily Andrews admits that the Rota write articles so as not to upset the royal family to advance the royal agenda. When was that? Okay, so this posted October 26th, yesterday. But when was this recorded though? Because it seems like when William did that interview with, is it Apple Plus or something? American media to interview him about who knows whatever the nonsense he was talking about. When he came into the interview on a electric scooter. Was it since then? But anyway, let's listen. The whole point for them being there is to give access to the UK media, but he bought that.
With the good old mucky Fleet Street.
Robert, one asks what the benefit of being part of the Royal Rota system was, and in our day, back then, with fewer stations, fewer lots of things, it was access to the royals themselves, and the possibility, however thinly veiled it was, that you might actually get an interview with one of them. And I think what's changed now is you now have Prince William going to Eugene Levy on Apple TV and giving interviews directly to global audiences, bypassing the system completely. And I think that must be ringing severe alarm bells within the Buckingham Palace press office, because if he can do that, what is the need of the Rota system?
But does it, Emily, does it ring alarm bells within newsrooms though, Emily, in those newsrooms which place people on the Royal Rota?
And the thing with William, he wants to be known globally. Meanwhile, this is what happened when these people bend the knee. They're protecting him. He doesn't give a shit about them. William wants to be known globally. So he's chasing Harry and Meghan's light to be in a global stage. When in fact, Harry left the UK for him because William wanted the spotlight in the UK. Harry left the UK for him. Well, William kicked him out. So let's keep that in check. But the voters who keep on lying for him, now after he already used and abused them, and he feel like he could get away with it. Look at this. He bypassed them and go to Apple TV Plus, is a US base, to be known globally. Still, it didn't make a dent. The squad who live in the US might know about it because we talk about it on social media. But other American who has issues, their own problem, they don't know anything about that. About the interview. Let's continue. Unless if they have Apple Plus.
Perhaps the thinking, is it worth it?
I think, look, the royal family is still of immense interest to millions of viewers, listeners, readers. And so the Rota is still useful in covering the engagements of the royals in terms of getting their charitable message out. I think that, yes, there's some sense of kind of compromat in a sense if you're a royal correspondent, because you don't want to upset the palace too much. On the other hand, you do get the access, so it's always a balancing act. Robert's right in the fact that it has been Fleet Street that's been driving this pressure, and I did see some of the briefing last week to selected royal correspondents as putting pressure in the public domain on Andrew to just get as far as to do as he did. And I suspect that there wouldn't be Parliament MPs getting involved if it hadn't been for all the press. On the other hand, Simon's also right. I think that William has definitely made it very clear that while he tolerates the Rota to get out his message on, whatever that may be, Earthshot, which is coming up next month, and all the press the Rota will go to Brazil, climate change, mental health, homelessness, he wants to do things his own way. And I don't think we'll ever see Prince William sit down with the BBC Royal Editor or the ITV Royal Editor again.
Well, do you think that's right, Simon?
Yes, I really do, and I think Prince William has other ideas about the future of all this. And we ought to emphasise, the King is in ill health. We don't know of when Prince William may be called upon to replace him, but I think he has very clear ideas.
When Charles is dead.
And I think one of the...
Okay, it's done. They don't know when. When Charles is dead, you think Camilla's gonna let William come in while Charlie's still alive? Okay, and I think they remove what's the term when the king, the monarch has some issue? There's a term for it. I don't think Harry is listed as one of those people. What's the term they use? Harry was there for the Queen. Okay, let me not waste time. For Charles, obviously Camilla, William, I don't know if Andrew's in it, and if the adults, what's the name? his sister, and I think it has to be 6. I can't even remember the term they use. If, let's say, the king is sick or something, really bad sick, can't do anything, there are some people who could, oh my God, consent. Oh, I forgot the term. Let me leave that topic alone because I can't even remember the term. Okay, in my opinion, I think that Willie and Harry wants the same outcome about whether neither likes it, but because of their position, has to go about it differently. Harry totally annihilated them, and Willie has to be more strategic, but his dissolving of the voter won't end well for him. And I agree with this. And this is why Harry was saying he feels sorry for them and they are trapped.
My father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that.
Okay, if the end result is abolition of the voter and the monarchy, I'll be happy. Amen. Writing Spare Netflix special was a real boss move. It's all out there. There's no skeletons. If there were, that toxic British media will have put it out there. But the same cannot be said for the other two. Way too many secrets and lies. That house will tumble and crumble one day. The thing is that I agree with this. It will crumble one day. As a matter of fact, I saw it way before, but it still hasn't happened. Is that they have people covering for them and they never learn. They keep on repeating the same thing, the same blueprint. Their karma is delicious. Billy Idol sees the Royal Rota as a useful idiot, but that's about it. That Eugene Levy interview was a message. That's what I'm saying. In terms of he used the voter is covering up for William, and then William doesn't give a shit about them. No access to Billy Idols and none of the Sussexes. I wonder what revenge they will take on William. Notice Emily says she doesn't think Willie will ever sit down with BBC. That's their fault for keep on covering. All right, let me read what's there. I don't want to get to Macron issues. If he's copying the Sussexes, then William has cloth ears. Meghan is American. Harry lives in California, and this is where his children will be raised for the foreseeable future. The only relevance William has is inside the UK. The Commonwealth is coming apart. He's 100% copying the Sussexes. Like I was saying, he's chasing Harry's spotlight. World views. William wants to be careful there. If he doesn't play ball, there's nothing to prevent Rota journalists from spreading gossipy hit pieces about him and the way that they have about his brother and sister-in-law. He's not immune to bad press, and it could be serious damage. One thing I realized not too long ago in one of my videos, if you speak against the crown, it's what do you call treason. If the Rota's gonna do that, they better do it now to speak against William now before he become the how do you call this, the monarch, before Charles died. I'm gonna leave this alone. I don't want to get to Mark 1. Okay, definitely what's on the screen. Bottom up. Oh, I'm reading everything anyway. Okay, it's actually quite sad that their core, both William and Harry, loathe the UK press. William has just decided to weaponize some members of the press, while Harry has chosen to walk away. But I believe the loathing for the press is shared by almost all the royals. And they keep on catering to them. Again, it goes back because they keep on doing the same stupid things, and the papers have, know about that dirty secret. And if they have stopped and move forward on an ethical, reasonable human being, but they keep on repeating the same thing, and they need the papers to cover up for them. And this is why they always be in need of the papers, because they keep on doing stupidity. Meanwhile, there's Harry. He lay out everything bare and tell the papers, I'm not dealing with you, when he was leaving the UK. Willie has realized that putting the word out there using the voter psychophants no longer spread the word out globally. Harry exposed the fact that Harry's words were more accessible because he went to the international press. Really, it's too late in the game. Meghan and Paris outshone him.
I'm acutely aware of where my family stand and how scared they are of the tabloids turning on them.
Turning on them for what? They're the royal family.
Yes, but it's there is this invisible what's termed or referred to as the invisible contract behind closed doors between the institution and the tabloids, UK tabloids.
How so?
Well, it is to simplify. It's a case of if you as a family member are willing to wine, dine, and give full access to these reporters, then you will get better press.
What do you care about better press if you're royal?
I think everyone needs to have some compassion for them in that situation, right? There is a level of control by fear that has existed for generations. I mean,
But who's controlling?
All right, William does not have very clear ideas except to feed the press with stories. I think he just goes on the brink. He doesn't sit down, create a strategy on how to, let's say, he has a goal. He doesn't strategize his plan. It seems like, okay, he just go in the spur of the moment and then do his thing. He doesn't sit down and strategize his plan, how to reveal it to the public and things like that. He see Harry doing something, boom, an idea come up to copy Harry and do the same thing. When in fact he should sit down just like Harry and Meghan do. You don't hear about Harry and Meghan all the time. But when you don't hear about them, that's because they're doing their work, the hard work, the dirty, messy stuff that they don't want to share with you. That will lead to the magnificent, shiny object at the end that we all will be seeing and we go at for. But they strategize. In the background, they don't let people in and they do the hard work in the background. But William, I don't think he does that. He just go in the moment. He sees the final product of Harry and Meghan and then boom, let's copy that. Without doing all the little thinking behind. Why am I doing this? What's the purpose of it? There's none. His purpose is because Harry does it, so therefore I must do it. When his connection with the monarchy doesn't really connect with what Harry and Meghan are doing. Completely different things. Harry and Meghan are surviving. Okay? They creating content and product for their survival, for their money, to put food on the table. There's a reason for that. But William, on the other hand, the money is already coming in. The taxpayers' money is already coming in. They have land. They have all sort of things. They don't need to do what Harry and Meghan are doing. I mean, to some extent, he could do what Harry and Meghan are doing if it is helping the people. But for him, William is only chasing PR. He's looking for publicity. The meaning behind some of the things that William is doing is not the same for Harry and Meghan. Meghan and Harry are doing the thing not only for their survival, they also doing it for their brand and they're helping people. Okay? But anyway, let's get back to the original recording. But anyway, his goal is to be well known. He's already well known. But what he's doing with that global well known is attaching stupidity behind it. He's not creating quality behind his image. Unlike Harry and Meghan, this is the thing. Harry understands his position from the get-go.
New spin on it from the youth. As a prince, you're born at birth with a natural platform to be able to try and make a difference. Yeah, which a lot of people have to spend years and years and years getting to that point. So from that perspective, I'm very lucky to have a platform to be able to try and make change in the causes that mean a lot to me, but also to you guys. And I'm still in your generation, by the way. But at the same time, as I said, being born with a lot of privilege comes with a lot of responsibility. But I like to think that I'm going to have to spend the rest of my life earning the respect for that privilege and trying to make a difference for the rest of my life.
Unlike Harry and Meghan, Harry, this is the thing. Harry understand his position from the get-go.
Without, I mean, I've been a pessimist many times because of the work that we end up doing. You can be surrounded by negativity sometimes. But as I said just now, the younger generation of the world has turned me into an optimist because they are the best connected, the most passionate generation that I think that we've ever had. And what we need to do is be able to create a platform so that they can be heard, because they have the solutions to some of the world's biggest problems.
So you're affiliated, as many in your family are, with many, many charities. You're patrons of certain organizations. I read that you have about 15 charities that you're affiliated with. Your brother and sister-in-law have about 35, but that's less than some other members of your family, right? You all are doing it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So how do you focus?
So,
And tell us, that by contrast, how many charities might other royals be affiliated with in different generations?
Hundreds. My grandmother had to rewrite the rule books to a certain extent. My father, my mother have also done it their way. And now we're the younger generation coming through, trying to do it our way, because the world has changed so much. We believe that by streamlining and by bringing people together in order to effect real positive change is the only way forward. And it worked for previous generations, and we will always say yes to becoming patron of a charity that we believe in and that we're incredibly passionate about. But I think in today's world, you have to be involved with things that make sense to where your passions lie, rather than potentially turning up to a charity once a year.
Thank you. Nice to see you again. I was just looking at, it's been a while since I last visited. So yeah, definitely when things get back to normal, I'd love to come and say hello to the team and everyone down there as well.
I think it was 2012 that you were last year.
It only seems like yesterday, Graham. It shows you how quickly time goes.
Rather than potentially turning up to a charity once a year.
The protocol may have been lending your name and using your name to create a halo around the organization that would benefit it. And it sounds like the younger royals are more about more than just name association, more direct action and involvement. So do you feel you're more hands-on? Is that fair to say?
I think in today's world you have to be. I think you have to be much more hands-on, and also.
Why? I mean, why do you have to be? You could have done it the same way. You could have had 200 charities and been a patron of them. I mean, no one would have thought any different.
No, but if you end up working individually for, let's say, 200 charities, in today's world, I think that kind of dilutes the impact that you can have. What our foundation is all about and what our platform is all about is encouraging people to come together, to work together, so that there's less competition within that sector, whether it's financially or otherwise, and saying, right, guys, you're doing the same thing. Please, let's get around a table, talk to each other, work it out, and come up with a long-term strategy.
Unlike Harry and Meghan, this is the thing. Harry understands his position from the get-go.
Yeah, it's still my baby. I wanted a place where I could share these great experiences I'm able to have and make it inspirational for people, but also a reminder that it's all attainable, Like I didn't grow up with this kind of lifestyle or being interviewed or having fancy things. Like that is all very new. And so to be able to show like, you want that, you could totally have that, and you are enough and you're worth it. And it's also been a great way for me to connect with people. Well, I feel a really big responsibility. Like if you have this kind of job and you have an opportunity to have a profile where people are listening to what you're saying, I really, truly think you need to be saying something that's valuable. So yes, you can talk about like, where did Rachel get that pencil skirt? Fine, sure. We can have that conversation. But I'd also like to talk about
women's rights.
Women's rights and like my work with UN Women or with World Vision or humanitarian trips or just really bolstering self-esteem that has nothing to do with the external.
And he knows when he was in the UK, without him, because the media want to create content. And who's the producer of content? Harry. Harry knows without him, the media don't have anything. But William, on the other hand, I don't know what's going on in his head. Let me continue. Untrue stories about Harry and Meghan in order to boost his image. William is about control of the narrative, which benefits him. But he's creating stupid narrative at the same time. The other brother wants to have his cake and eat it too. He covered the global stage Harry has and is shooting for that. William still wanting to maintain the sycophantic voter system, except he is forgetting to do his part for the voter who will turn on him if they're not fed. That is true. What's the need for the Royal Rota? William and Kate are lazy. There is no agenda to promote because their calendar is basically empty. I remember before Harry went to the UK this year, 2025, where he did so many things, went to the radio station, donate his money to some other to charities and do all those engagements for that few days he was over there. Before he went there, the squad went to look at the royal family's calendar. It was empty. And then later on, we find out there's all sort of things that they're doing because Harry was out there. Now I understand why there are so many of them. The more royal rats write about what's leaked is to deflect from other stories the royals don't want us to know. I mean, I guess this person is new into the game, but it was already well known.
Do you see any scenario by which Harry and Meghan overshadow Kate and
Oh,
William?
yes, I do. I do. I mean, this is immediately was my first thought. You know, this could be a problem.
True, but what William is doing, he is feeding his obsession with global competition with Harry, and that will fail because nobody likes William. The Rota are the only bootlickers William has left, and he better not make them mad. Yeah, that is true.
I'm acutely aware of where my family stand and how scared they are of the tabloids turning on them.
Turning on them for what? They're the royal family.
Yes, but it's there is this invisible what's termed or referred to as the invisible contracts behind closed doors.
Well, he does whatever he wants anyway. The thing is that he get away with so many things, so he thinks he will get away with it. All right, let's pause this. Taking a couple of steps back and seeing how Piers is loyal to Sarah Ferguson, it's easy to identify who his palace insider are and some members of the royal family who thanked him for bashing the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It's all karma for the Yorks. 2025, this, I guess 2025, and this is 2021. I think I have this somewhere. Let's listen. Screenshot, okay?
His ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, she's always been a good friend of mine over many, many years. I get on very well with his daughters, particularly Beatrice, who's become a good friend. And I feel very sorry for those girls. They're very, very nice girls, and it must be absolutely horrific having to read.
Well, I feel sorry for the girls for dealing with you because, you know, they know exactly what's going on. That summer or that time, look at the screen, the image that I have, where they had lunch and there's a part where they went on an airplane. I don't know where they went. The moment that I saw it, I felt like they had a plan. Because I felt like the younger sister, what's the younger sister name? I don't remember. I keep on getting their name confused. The younger one. The one that doesn't look like Andrew. The one that doesn't have the big eye. Okay. That. I felt like she was trying to move away. Trying to be not exactly like Harry, but to be independent from the royal family. Her husband was doing his own thing, and I think she was trying to do her own thing. But that meeting that happened, I felt, okay, my opinion is not written anywhere. I felt like they pulled her back in and said, you better stick to the script or else whatever they have against the father, they pull her back into the fold. That's what I believe. I'm not saying this is true, but that's what I believe.
Read all the stuff about their father. So, you know, that's my position with the family. On Andrew.
All right. So this is when Billy, what's his name? Billy Bush was asking him if he knows about the William thing.
Palace, thanking you for the, serious defense of them.
I've had some messages communicated to me on behalf of several members of the royal family.
Upper level
We're very
people?
grateful that. Well, I'm not going to go into who it was, but what I would say is gratitude that somebody was standing up for them.
Taking stock.
Very well with his.
It's done with. Let's read some of the comment. Whatever is here. With Sarah's reputation of showering her friends with expensive gifts. I'm sure he was at the top of her list. He has always known about the families is his job. He used her for inside information to protect royal family. That too. And this is the thing, you see, for Sarah Ferguson, if this is true, okay, giving gifts, expensive gifts to family, to friend, when you don't even have money. Okay, they have that persona as if they are rich, but they don't have. If you don't have, why are you giving expensive gifts? Oh my God. I think over the years and giving her many scandals, Sarah needed a lot of protection, which is why she sings like a canary to people like Piers. It makes me sick to know that some of the palace insiders' sources often quoted by Piers can now be identified as Sarah or Beatrice. I bet Sarah Ferguson spied on Diana as well. The woman caught selling access to her husband. 100% she leaked information on her sister-in-law. Allegedly. He's Camilla's attack dog. He's a liar. Lie about phone hacking. Should be in prison. In his own history, he has said nasty things about the royals, but now it's all about his battering ego, Meghan turning him down, and carrying favor for an honor. Duplicitous effing prick he is. I believe his big mouth will bring him his karma yet again. Got fired from CNN, got fired from GB Good Morning Britain. His last chance is the YouTube thing. He'll get cancelled there too. The first time I saw him, Piers Morgan, was at CNN. At that time, I had cable. And when I heard him talking, I was like, what the hell? And I never watched his show again. So freaking stupid. I don't remember what he was talking about, but it was so stupid. All right, next tweet. Billy Bush mocking Meghan for doing charity work while wearing designer clothes is a clear example of racism. These people don't want black women to have nice things. Why not call out white men who wear Rolex while donating, or better yet, stop mocking people who give back at all? Well, he's in that same group. By the way, Billy Bush is connected, his family to the Bush presidents, okay? I look it up in one videos, I show the connection. There's that status quo. These people, the reason they are at high place like that, they keep it within their group, so they're protecting each other, okay? Before in the US, there used to be like secrecy. Do it subtly, we won't know. But after Trump come in, we are seeing much clearer. Okay, he is an idiot. We'd love to hear his opinion on this then. All right, whatever is here and that's it. Why do they think black women were the only one they subject to this purity test? She'll hide their wealth while donating to charity, like people don't know she's rich. Should she pretend and dress down? Louis and Helen wore furs to the help center, and I love it. That's odd. Who cares what anyone's wearing so long as they do the work? He is literally from a rich, well-connected political family. Okay? This is what I was saying. Okay? They are protecting each other. Okay? This person said in one sentence better than I do. There's one comment under it. Nope, I don't see it. Go back. All right. You don't have to explain why you live in nice houses, drive luxury cars on expensive holiday to nobody when you provide for yourself and your family through education and hard work. They hate to see it though. Buddha F.O. The thing is that they know they're creating barriers to prevent black people from having nice stuff, from succeeding. So when they see someone, a black person succeed, so this is their next step to attack. Okay, society they just do that, and they're praised for being polished and wealthy, but how dare the neglect. Bush is another one who should keep his own counsel. How dare she not show up in a sackcloth and ashes? So many a-hole out there. My God. If someone is doing good for others, it doesn't matter what they wear. They're doing good, and clothing, jewelry doesn't change that. All right, let's go to the next one. It's the same narrative, okay? They feel like because of the destruction of the U.S. system, they feel like they could get away with it, okay? Let me pause and see what I miss here. I put a wrong link. This is the image that was supposed to be. All right, so glad we have photos like this for the history books. Kate, Camilla, and Sophie acting like a schoolyard bullies, and they still claim Meghan wasn't treated differently. Even little Charlotte looked shocked at the mean girl behavior of her mother's coven. Yeah, they're teaching. I mean, every time I look at this image, the first thing that came to mind is Sophie. What did Meghan do to her personally for her to be looking at Meghan in this distasteful kind of face? This has to come from within, because I don't see me being upset at someone. I may not like your behavior or whatever, you do something and I move on, but this has to come deep within. This is the thing they're teaching those kids. Why is this the thing? At appear at her head at the Vatican. Oh, could it be? Okay. She must like that look, but I think the Vatican one had a larger leaves. I've seen a different angle that shows E and B also were there behind Meghan on her other side, isolating her as well, it seemed. Am I seeing things? Was it a different occasion? E and B, Edward, and someone else? Okay. Beatrice, let's see here. There's 3 comments. Eugenie. Okay, Eugenie and Beatrice. I have never seen Eugenie snub Meghan. I think it was Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. Let's leave that alone. I need to finish. I want to cover the thing about Harry and Meghan. I probably will edit that video first. Alright, next tweet. What is this? Love how this guy uses comedy to hit the spot on why royalists hate Meghan Sussex racism, and how they then give good press to Kate Middleton for doing the worst. Alright, 45 seconds. Let's listen.
You know, there's one thing that I love and admire and respect about Harry and Meghan. How angry they make Piers Morgan. And the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail hate her. Hate her. Don't know why they hate that black woman. You know what I've noticed? The more they hate Meghan, the more they love Kate. It's like Kate can do no wrong. Kate could murder a disabled panda cub. Yeah. The whole thing caught on camera. Kate just kicking the shit out of this tiny, defenseless, fluffy, 6-month-old, wheelchair-bound cub. Daily Mail front page. Caring Kate gets panda to heaven. You know, there's one thing that I love.
Alright, so there's that. Let me leave that alone. Let's go to the next tweet. Alright, what is this now? I thought it's the titles that makes people popular. Alright, what is that? She retweeted this. Oh, there's that, the wink eye. Trademark war against Norwegian supermodels beauty brand due to the Spice Girls' lack of fame, Scandinavia. Okay, what the hell is that? That's recent. There's the date here. So what's going on here? I don't know. I really don't know. Trademark kind of thing. Isn't she a lady? Thought title make you known all over the world. So, okay, now I get it. Oh, did Beckham get the title? So now because of Beckham, he's the lady, and now the beauty thing, there's an issue going on here with the whatever product. So this is what the squad are calling out. So, oh my God, the squad or something. I finally get it. I'm slow, okay? I'm slow tonight. Because now she has the title, I guess, ma'am, if Beckham is a sir. Let me look it up. I think he did get the title. Okay, so he did. Yes, David Beckham was knighted by King Charles in June 2025 for his services to sport and charity, receiving the title of Sir. Okay, so he did get it. So this is what the squad are, oh my God, the squad are freaking ridiculous. It took me a while to realize it. So now that the husband got the title, and okay, so my next question is, what is ma'am, I guess? Let me, okay, so this is what I asked Google. Because of David Beckham's title, what is his wife's title? Okay, because it has to, similar to Harry, who is Duke of Sussex, Meghan is Duchess of Sussex. This is why I asked. I thought it was ma'am, but it's lady. Okay, as the wife of the knighted David Beckham, Victoria Beckham is entitled to the courtesy title of Lady Beckham. Okay? So now the squad is saying, now because she has that title, what happened to this? What's going on here? Because this is the narrative the royal rats have been saying. Because of the title, this is why Meghan this, Meghan that. So the squad are saying, okay, now that, and they said lack of fame. There it is, they put it in quotation, lack of fame. Oh my God, the squad or something. Isn't she a lady? Oh, she did put it here. I didn't even know. Isn't she a lady? Thought title makes you known all over the world. Okay, it's called Delusion of Grandeur. There's the laugh here. Well, oh dear, how sad. Not. There's that. Nah. Okay, let's move on. Oh my God, it took me a while to realize it. Next tweet. Because they're claiming Meghan, all of her popularity is because of her title. All right, next tweet. Knee bender of some fake Sussex squad attacked my post with tons of scenarios for Chuck. They range from he did extend his hand, but she didn't want it. He shook her hand. Oh, okay. For a minute, I'm like, Meghan? No, there's a event that went in the UK, and that girl, that person was the only black person. Charles didn't even bother shaking her hand. He hugged her. He talked to her long, to maybe she's a Muslim. Then everyone run to show the one fake video and one fake picture. There's that thing here. Let's pause. So Fat Fingers disrespected the only black person standing in front of him. What horrid creature. When I think about what Meghan went through behind those dusty palace walls, it makes me want to cry. That family has always been like this, racist and vile. What did Grok say? Total misrepresenting of meeting. The full video shows Casey meeting and shaking hand with the young lady. Really, and here, however, the app is failing to take on board the truth and continue with falsehood. Okay, whatever. There's the image, okay? 10 seconds. Okay. Did Charles show anything here? Look at it. He moved his hand doing some gesture. See, that's a different way of shaking people's hand. You know what? Let's leave it alone. We've seen so many scenarios of Charles dismissing black people. Okay? There's no other way. She is wearing traditional. Okay, you could pause and read. I don't want to spend too much time on this. This is my last one, okay? Alright. That should have been on my other video, but let's leave it here. Almost missed this gorgeous pic of our faves taken by the talented John Shearer. They look so good, Harry and Meghan. Alright, so there's that. There's a heart. That's it. So please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. I'm going to do another video for PYTE. Alright. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better